And welcome to another episode of Your Next Favorite Movie. I am your host, Josh G. And today I am joined by Crystal. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Crystal is someone I come across. I'm in a movie group on Facebook called Movie Buffs United, and I think you're one of the moderators on there.
Yep, I'm one of the moderators. My best friend Katie is running the group and she asked me to be one of the moderators on there. So here I am.
All right, awesome. And anytime I see posts with movies that I don't see get a lot of talk about, basically, and I see someone's like, "This is one of my favorite movies." Obviously, when I see that word "favorite," I jump on it because that's what this is about. I like
Yeah.
to get people with some of their favorite movies. So that's going to lead us into tonight's because Crystal made a post a while back about a movie called The Knights of Badassdom.
Yes.
Now, when did you first see this?
I first saw Knights of Badassdom in I think around like 2015, I think. I saw it on Netflix. I had heard about it a while ago and I was, bored at home one day and I was on Netflix just looking for something to watch and then I happened upon that and I was like, "Oh my god, I've been wanting to see this." And so I watched it and it became an instant favorite of mine.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
I watched this for the first time for this, but I had known about it for years just because I'm a
Mhm.
fan of Joe Lynch, the director, because he does a
Yeah.
lot of horror stuff.
Yeah,
So
he's great.
yeah, I was this close to getting him on here to come and join us and surprise you, but
Oh my god, that would have been awesome.
I was close. But said he was talking about this movie with Jonah Ray, who does the
Oh yeah, I know that
science
dude.
theater. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
talking about it on there with him, so he didn't want to come on and do another one. So
Oh, that's too bad.
I know it. I know it. So for anyone who hasn't seen this film, why don't you give everybody a little synopsis of what it is?
Okay, so this is about this group of friends. They are really into LARPing. And for those that don't know what LARPing is, it's live action role playing, like, all medieval, fantasy kind of stuff. And you act out the characters and you go on these quests and everything. And these guys are into that. And Steve Zahn's character is training to be a level 27 wizard and he buys this ancient book off eBay and it just so happens to be a legit spell book and he accidentally summons a demon, like you do.
You do exactly.
and and all these larpers are having to fight against this evil succubus from hell. So, yeah. it's it's a pretty awesome movie. And plus, it's got a great cast. I mean, you got Steve Zahn, Summer Glau from Firefly, Peter Dinklage. I mean, come on, Game of
Yep.
Thrones.
Yep.
Hello. And Brian Quanten from True Blood, who's great in this. It's just a really awesome movie. And if you're into like all the horror fantasy and like LARPing and magic and demons and that kind of stuff, you'll love this movie.
And I can say, as someone who's not really a big fan of LARPing, I still think you can enjoy this movie.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
still had
definitely.
a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I've never done LARPing either. I've heard about it and I've always been interested, but just have no idea exactly how to get into that kind of thing. I mean, I've never even played Dungeons and Dragons, so I would really have no idea.
I
But
remember
it just seems like a lot of fun.
it could be. I remember the first time I ever even heard about LARPing. It was Halloween, and I put up a
Mhm.
post saying, "What is everyone watching scary tonight?" or whatever. And someone said, "Well, I'm watching a documentary on LARPing, and that's pretty scary." And I was like, "What is LARPing?" And they told me what it was. I had no idea. And then I think it got popularized really in Role Models with Paul Rudd and Sean Williams.
Yes, I
They
love
had
that movie.
yeah.
Yeah, and they also bring it up quite a bit in Supernatural too, if you've ever seen that show.
Okay, so
But
no, I have. I know it's been on what 15 years, something like that. And no, I've never
something
watched
like
it.
that, yeah.
and I am behind the game on that one. So no, I have
Oh
not.
yeah, I fell behind ages ago.
All right, so we don't give away everything on the movie.
Hmm.
So without, I think this would be kind of easy, because I think you would just go into what would you want to see in a sequel? Because they wrapped this one up. So how would you do a sequel?
Yeah, I've thought about this quite a bit, and something I think would totally work would be if instead of accidentally summoning something back like in the first one, if they accidentally ended up in another time, kind of like Army of Darkness, ending
Oh
up
Lord.
in a medieval era where there's, demons and, all kinds of weird stuff going on, and they're having to try to, like, you know fight their way through all these like monsters, and trying to find a way back home. And and it just I just kind of think of the character Gunther, the one who's always stays in character. That
Right.
would be like a dream come true for him. So I think it would be cool to see something like that happen, and have Gunther especially really be like, be the main one,
Okay.
to like lead them, because he already thinks this kind of stuff is real in this world anyway.
Yeah,
So
no, that could
what
be a
I
lot of
picture.
fun. So yeah,
Yeah,
they end up having to deal with it for real. See how they react to that.
exactly. Yeah, I think that would be cool.
I,
So Joe Lynch, if you're listening, please do it.
I'm gonna try and get him to listen to this episode at least.
That would be
I,
awesome.
he's not high on this movie. I know
I heard
that.
about that.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know. I don't know what it is. He doesn't. He's not a fan of his own movie on this case.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that it was like, you know, they were doing a lot of edits on the movie, and I guess the final cut didn't come out exactly what he wanted or something. Or I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but yeah, I think I read that on like IMDb or something, that that's one of the reasons why he kind of disowns the movie, which is too bad because I still think it's pretty awesome.
I mean,
But
like I said,
that's just me.
I'm not a fan of that stuff, and I still enjoyed this movie. So I was
Yeah. Yeah,
glad
it's
to
a fun
watch it. So
movie.
yeah, yeah, it was a fun time. All right, so you're part of a movie buffs group. You understand this. We're in the
Hmm.
land of remakes. Who would
Yeah.
you want to cast in some of these roles?
Ah, God, it's just, oh my God, it's so hard to try to think of a cast, that would be better than this one. I mean, I would honestly want a lot of the same actors to come back because they were just so great. I mean, Brian Quanten, Summer Glau, Peter Dinklage, Jimmy Simpson. I mean, Steve Zahn. I would just love to see them all in it again. And well, one thing I would do different that I did think about was the two kings, in the rivaling kingdoms that fight against each other. I kind of pictured them being recast as Bruce Campbell and Jeffrey Combs, just seeing two B movie icons
No kidding.
playing kings going head to head against each other with their epic speeches.
Absolutely. Ash Williams
Yeah,
versus Dr. Herbert West. I love it.
exactly. Exactly. That would be so cool. So if anything, that's what I would want to happen. Have those guys play the kings, even though they're not like the biggest roles in the movie, but they're still pretty memorable. And it would be even more awesome with these two awesome actors playing them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that would be a lot of fun. Especially, yeah, those
Yeah.
two would make it a lot of fun, actually.
Oh God, yeah. Getting really theatrical, especially with their, epic war speeches and everything. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
All right, Crystal. Now, you may have your work cut out for you here. You have people
Hmm.
who aren't into medieval stuff, maybe not into LARPing. I want you to sell this movie to the everyday person, to the non movie buff that just feels the need to see everything anyway.
All right, let's see. Well, the the thing about this movie is that one of the main characters well, two of the main characters aren't into LARPing, but they get involved in it anyway, and they actually still manage to have fun with it. And not only is there a lot of fantasy stuff going on with the LARPing, but also a lot of horror stuff, and there's some pretty good gore and special effects in it as well.
Agreed.
You, yeah, so you get fantasy, you get horror, you get comedy because you've got some really hilarious moments in it, and you have characters that you really root for and you don't want to see die, and just seeing them, kick some major butt. Yeah, it's a fun movie, even if LARPing is not your thing. You just go in there with an open mind, and I have a lot of fun watching this movie, and I like a lot of different movies. So just give it a shot, and I promise you won't regret it.
Yeah, like I've said a couple times, I'm not really into LARPing. I enjoyed this movie. If you've seen anything else Joe Lynch has done, Wrong Turn 2, even Point Blank, Mayhem, he's got some
Yeah.
new episodes of Creep Show out right now on Shudder. So
Yeah.
this seems to be one that goes under the radar. It gets left behind. And like we talked about, I think it's because Joe doesn't want to talk about it as much. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's really too bad that this movie isn't so well known. And what's funny is that a few years ago I actually got to meet Summer Glau at LA Comic-Con, and she's extremely sweet. And I told her, by the way, I loved you in Knights of Badassdom. And she said, "Oh my God, you saw that?"
Oh,
it was so funny. It's like she didn't expect anyone to know that movie, but it's like, yes, I did.
Yeah, but I think like she had to love that though, because you went with that one instead of something she was well known for. So.
Oh yeah, because I mean, anybody who knows Summer Glau will automatically, associate her with Firefly or the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and those are awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, this movie deserves some love too. Joe Lynch might not have been happy with it, but I still love it, and she's awesome in it. It's just a really great movie that should be recognized more.
Okay. All right. I think that's going to wrap this one up. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find the group if you want?
You can find me and the group on Facebook. We're called Movie Buffs United, and please come join us if you love talking about movies, and even mentioning movies that a lot of people have never seen or heard of before. We welcome anybody. We just all like to keep it friendly, and yeah, let's talk movies.
Absolutely. It's what I like to do every week. And as always, you can follow the show at ynfmoviepod on Twitter and Instagram, available wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to come back next week, as I'll have a new movie and a new guest. And who knows, that may become your next favorite movie. You guys take care. I'll talk to you next time.